again, everybody, and welcome to Drum Lessons with Mr. Rickman. Dun, 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 dun. That's me. Right, we're going to talk about the jazz style of drumming. Some of you may have met this with me before, some of you may not have. So here it is, the jazz style. We are not talking about rock. We're not talking about bass drums and snare drums thumping and getting our musical feel that way. We're talking about jazz. Very, very, very big subject, historically and musically. But I'll give you the basics here. That's what we're doing. We've got one key concept to understand first, and then we can dive straight in. The key concept is swing, swing. What is swing, I hear you ask? I will tell you. First we need to know what a triplet is. Now, imagine, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Think of that word. Merrily, 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 merrily. 3 evenly sized notes per beat. Merrily, 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 merrily. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Diddly, 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 diddly. That's what a triplet is. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, imagine you take out the middle one. So it doesn't go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It now goes 1, sh, 3, 1, sh, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's a very wordy way of counting it. So what I like to teach people is Humpty Dumpty. Remember, Humpty Dumpty, Humpty Dumpty, Humpty Dumpty, Humpty Dumpty. So get your right hand, or your left hand if you're a lefty, and stick it on a cymbal or a pad or a leg or a pan or a friend, whatever, and see if you can do a bunch of Humpty Dumpties with me. Humpty Dumpty, Humpty Dumpty. Just for the sake of it, we're going to put a bass drum, which is your right foot, or your left if you're a lefty. We're going to put a bass drum on the first of our Humpty, so on the hum, right? Humpty, 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 Humpty. Please do a bunch of those with me, because people sometimes suffer with this. Humpties with the right hand, bass drums on the beat. 1, 2, 3, go! Humpty, 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 Dumpty. If you feel like yours is a little uneven, please rewind and do that a few more times. Very important. We'll try a different version of that. We'll replace the bass drum with a snare drum. So now it looks like... Let's do a bunch of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. Humpty Dumpty, Humpty Dumpty. If you feel like a more advanced challenge, we'll do a whole Humpty Dumpty, and we'll stick a bass drum on the hum and a snare drum on the dum. Humpty Dumpty, Humpty Dumpty, with our right hands as well. Humpty Dumpty, Humpty Dumpty. You are now playing a drum beat called a shuffle. One of the world's grooviest drum beats. Humpty Dumpty, Humpty Dumpty Bop. That's what triplets are, and that's what triplets with the middle one missing are. Humpty Dumpty, Humpty Dumpty, merrily, merrily, Humpty Dumpty. Now, a lot of the time when you're reading music, you will have to play lots of these. And the people who write it, they don't want to be writing this busy thing. They want to just write a pair of quavers. Normally, you would read a pair of quavers as coffee, 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 where the first and last are the same length, even, coffee, coffee. But if you are given the instruction, swing at the top of your piece that you're reading, that means you have to change, you have to read every coffee as a Humpty. So, our pattern at the bottom here, if you're reading straight, says tea, coffee, tea, coffee. If you've been told to read swing, which we're going to do all of this lesson, this doesn't say tea, coffee, it says tea, Humpty, tea, Humpty, tea, Humpty, tea, Humpty. Let's call this a Humpty and this a Dumpty. Tea, Humpty, tea, Dumpty, tea, Humpty, tea, Dumpty. And that, my friends, is the basis of basic jazz drumming. The jazz drummers, they love to keep their right hands going tea, Humpty, Humpty. They love a bit of that, the jazz guys. So your right hand, or your left hand if you're a lefty, your right hand's going to be doing a lot of tea, Humpty, tea, Dumpty in jazz. Let's try a bunch of them. Just tea, Humpty, tea, Dumpty. What sort of speed are we on? Let's slow you down. Tea, Humpty, tea, Dumpty, tea, Humpty, tea, Dumpty. We'll start dead slow. Here we go. 1, Humpty Dumpty, go. Tea, Humpty, tea, Dumpty. Very good. That's your basic jazz right hand pattern on your ride cymbal. Now, the next stage is just like when we developed an 8-beat into cooler rock beats. We're going to take this basic pattern and add some extra bits and pieces to it, right? Let's add some snare drums in, okay? We're going to add a snare drum in on beat number 4. That's the dum of Dumpty. Tea, Humpty, tea, Dumpty, tea, Humpty, tea, Dumpty. Let's try that. I'm not going to put the song on, we'll just put the metronome on. 1, 2, 3, go. Tea, Humpty, tea, Dumpty. That's what that does. Like I said at the start, jazz drumming isn't about adding in loads of boom bash, boom bash. It's a bit more tasteful. We don't have to thump our way through jazz all the time. Okay. Before we move on, please make sure you have a pen and paper, because we're going to be writing down loads of different ones of these. In fact, on your sheet of paper, please write down tea, Humpty, 4 or 5 or 6 times. Leave space under each one to add stuff in. And it will help you to make a note of these. Right, let's get rid of this snare drum here. We'll stick a bass drum instead. We'll stick a bass drum on the 3rd beat. Bass drums down at the bottom. T, humpty, boom. Humpty, T, humpty, boom. Dumpty. Let's do a bunch of those. Let's put the song on, it's groovy. 1, 2, 3, join in. I think we can manage a bit faster. Shush. Again, go faster if you like, go slower if you need. Let's put in the snare drum we had before. So now we're doing a combination of the last two. T, humpty, T, humpty. Cool. Let's slow that down. Okay. T, humpty, bass, snare, da, T, humpty, bass, snare. At this point you might notice a couple of problems starting to happen. Number one, you probably really want to put a bass drum at the start, because normally when you're playing rock beat stuff, that's where you start, on the bass drum. Boom, boom, boom. We love that bass drum in rock. So if you find yourself putting a bass drum there, no problem, just slow down what you're doing and try again until it settles. You may be finding yourself putting an extra right hand, an extra cymbal in this gap here. Again, it's perfectly normal, happens all the time. If it keeps on happening, slow down what you're practicing until it's sorted out. Right. So by now, if you're taking good notes, you'll have 1, 2, 3 different jazz rhythms on your sheet. Let's get rid of this snare and this bass. Now, again, I don't want to sit here all day taking you through every available combination, so please feel free to write your own couple of ones of these with a bass drum or a snare drum or both, or like 2 or 3 things attached to any of these, and try and make it work yourself. Very easy to invent your own drum beats. Stick a bass or a snare with whichever ones you like. Not too many. You might find great sounding ones, you might find terrible sounding ones, but they'll be yours either way. Right. Clever next stage. I'm going to stick a snare drum in this area, but not with this cymbal or this. I'm going to stick it in between. Oh, what have you done, Mr. Rickman? I'll tell you what I've done. I've turned a T into a humpty. So the overall rhythm now says T, humpty, humpty, humpty. But the left hand is on its own, not with a cymbal. Beware trying to put a cymbal with this snare drum, it doesn't have one. We'll go nice and slow at first. I'll do a few of these, join in. 2, 3, 4. T, T, Humpty, 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 T, Humpty, Humpty, Humpty. That's cool. That's something you could put in every 8 bars if you're jazzing. Just a little cheeky stab on the snare drum there. Just to break up the rhythm a little bit. Let's leave that there because that's cool, and we'll stick a bass drum somewhere. Let's be really cheeky and stick it right next door on the start of that beat. So the rhythm is still the same. T, Humpty, Humpty, Humpty. But we've now got a boom cha in the middle. This does come with a cymbal. This does not come with a cymbal. So that'll be quite interesting. If you want to, use my old trick. Put the hands above what you're doing. That's going to be just a right hand, that's going to be just a left hand, a right and another right. T, Humpty, right, left, right, right. T, Humpty, right, left, right, right. Here's how it sounds slowly. 2, 3, 4. T, Humpty, T, Humpty, T, Humpty, boo, da. Do you see me put the bass drum on the start there? Because I'm a drummer and I'm used to it. Sorry about that, everyone. Let's try that a tiny bit faster. Do, 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 da. 1, 2, 3, go. T, Humpty, right, left, right, right. T, Humpty, right, left, right, right. Cool. A little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Again, you could just use that as a thing to do every so many bars, just to break up the standard pattern. Jazzy, jazztastic. One more. We'll do one more variation. So we've had a snare drum off the beat. Let's stick a bass drum off the beat. Same place. I'll get rid of that left because that's now no longer left. T, Humpty, boo, boo, ta, ta. And I'm going to stick a snare drum there just because. Just because. So our overall rhythm is T, Humpty, 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 still. But now we're going T. And that's quite tricky coordination wise. So we'll start slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice little one that is. Ooh, okay, and I've got one more little silly one for you. I'm going to take everything out, so we're back to normal now. Back to just the cymbal, but I'm going to add one snare drum in the middle of this Humpty, thus making it a triplet, which you have to write your little 3 on to make it make sense. So now our overall rhythm is T, merrily T, Humpty, T, merrily T, Humpty. And I'll write the hands on for that. There's no feet here, so this is just hands. Right, right, left, right, 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 right. T, merrily T, Humpty. T, right, left, right, 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 left, right, right. So T, merrily T, Humpty, T, merrily T, Humpty. Nice, let's play that along with some music. Okay. Once again, I could sit here all week playing you different variations and different bits and pieces. I'm not going to, because that would take too long. But hopefully I've showed you the freedom that you have in a jazz style. Just like if you're playing a rock beat, as long as it sounds like that, you can add your own bits and pieces to make it your own. Playing a jazz beat, as long as you have T, Humpty, T, Dumpty, you can feel free to add your own bits and pieces. Hopefully you've made note of the ones I've done, and hopefully you see how easy it is to make your own. Okay, if you're adding a drum with a cymbal, easy, just join it on. Make it low for a bass, make it high up for a snare, easy. If you're adding something after a note, a T, it will become a Humpty, but it's just written like a coffee. That could be a bass or a snare. Could be both if you wanted it to. Crazy. If you're adding something in the middle of a Humpty, it'll become a merrily, become a triplet. So this becomes that. If you want to write the rights and lefts on to help, that's a brilliant idea. Goodness knows that has helped me out of many a difficult situation in my life. Okay, and I'll end this lesson with just a little play along. I'm going to give you 2 minutes of jazz at a speed of 100 beats per minute, which, believe it or not, is really slow for jazz. Oh yeah, you can add feet as well, like your left foot on the hi-hats. faster than that. We can do it faster than that. Merrily, merrily, Humpty Dumpty Bash, boom. Okay, that is jazz, my friends. If you're interested, get yourself on YouTube and have a look at some of the huge amount of jazz drummers that there are in the world. Look up Joe Morello. Look up Buddy Rich. Look up Philly Joe Jones. Look up Tony Williams. And you will find many, 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 many more. And that's jazz, baby. That's jazz. Okay. Thank you very much for listening to me waffle on about jazz for half an hour. Have a wonderful day. Jazz your little hearts out. Be creative with it. Be patient with it. And enjoy it, okay? And explore it. The end. Thanks very much.